What new power shift tractor stops a deer in its tracks?
Fix that thing down. Look at over there. What's that? You ever seen anything like that?
I don't know what it is.
What in the world?
Guess what new power shift tractor will make a Magnum backfire?
Now what are they up to?
What in the world was that?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kansas City. I think that you're going to enjoy this trip better than anyone you've had in about the last decade. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for coming, and certainly for your spirit and enthusiasm. Tomorrow, you will meet the new 6100 series tractor. And this product, sincerely, is a tribute to John and his people. An example of his genius, his drive, and his commitment. This is not Me Too technology. It's the most advanced power shift technology in the world. But more exciting is that this is just not a power shift that you have come to see. You will have an all-new tractor line, completely new, from the front to the rear. This new tractor line is not a replacement for your current workhorse models with a conventional transmission. You've done a fine job with those products, and we're extremely pleased with your results. But this tractor is a new entry into the market, something you have not had before. This product goes head-to-head with Case and Deere in performance, performance, performance. This is a product that will generate profit for your business. This is a product to grow share. If you can't feel it yet, this is a historic moment. It's a historic moment for our company, for your dealership, for each of us in this room. And I don't know about you, but tomorrow can't not come too soon for me. I have to agree with the old philosopher who said anticipation is truly more exciting than memories. So with that, I bid you a nice good evening, and I'm going to bed so I can get up very early and enjoy your enthusiasm. Thank you. Thank you very much, and good night.
Rich and colorful history, much of it documented and frequently dramatized. For good reason. The farm tractor is an important part of every farmer's life and an important part of our farm heritage. Yet in most instances, the vital link that connects the powerful engine to axles to produce field work is often overlooked and has often been taken for granted over the years. Transmissions in those first tractors gave you a marvelous choice: 2 speeds forward and 1 reverse. Since the first tractors were designed to replace the horse, the forward speeds were set at about how fast a horse walked through the field, a lowly 2 to 2.5 miles an hour. This speed changed little up until the mid-30s, when rubber tires were first added to farm tractors. Minneapolis Moline, a predecessor to White, installed one of the first 5-speed transmissions on its Model J. It had 4 practical field speeds and a high-speed road gear. A number of important developments occurred in tractor transmissions during the 50s. More gears, more speeds, and a big change from spur gears to helical gears. Oliver's new Fleetline series had 6 forward gears ranging from 2.5 to 12 miles an hour. And Minimo introduced the Amplitorque, which featured more travel speeds and easier shifting on the go. With Amplitorque, 10 speeds were produced from a 5-speed gearbox, allowing travel and working speeds from the same transmission. Oliver engineers introduced a power booster creeper drive in 1958 and perfected the quieter constant mesh helical gear transmission. The 60s broke a flood of new transmission innovations in farm tractors. After purchasing Oliver in 1960, White introduced the Hydra power drive with partial range control, an early version of power shifting. By the end of the decade, 12 forward speeds were popular, and the farmer had a choice of 3 auxiliary transmission systems: Hydra power, over-under hydral shift, and creeper drive. The 70s and 80s brought even more refinements: multi-disc wetmaster clutches, 20 forward speeds, and hydraulically operated differential locks. Today, it's a whole new ballgame, with transmissions at center stage. Today, we've harnessed the power and technology of the 90s to bring you the most advanced full power shift transmission ever put in a farm tractor, where tiny microprocessors help you hydraulically move massive iron gears with just the tap of a finger. Ladies and gentlemen, here to tell you about the evolution of the new AGCO Power Shift transmission is AGCO Corporation's new Chief Operating Officer and Executive Vice President, John Shimada.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, after watching that video, I guess you can say we've come a long way, baby, both as a company and as an industry. Through the years, the workhorse tractor has become known for its rugged reliability, and I want to assure you the 6100 series will only build upon that reputation. This new tractor is a workhorse that has been redesigned to run like a thoroughbred. It will enhance your image and allow you to compete in a market segment that up until now you haven't been able to compete in. Since we bought the company in 1991, Bob Ratliff has been telling you that AGCO has introduced more new products than any of our competitors, a fact that we are very proud of. However, today is one of the most special product introductions that we have ever had, because today we fulfill a promise that we've been making for some time now. And the best part is, no one else in the industry has it or can even come close. How about some history? Let me take you back to June of 1991, when AGCO purchased the White Tractor Company. At that time, White had a 6-speed power shift transmission that had been under development for several years. We were very excited when that project came under our control, and quickly built several prototypes and started a very severe endurance and reliability test program. But we soon realized this transmission could not provide the features, reliability, and performance that you and your customers have come to expect from AGCO. So in October of 1991, we decided to scrap the project, which had already cost AGCO close to $1 million, and then started looking at several alternatives, both from European and domestic manufacturers. In January of 1992, we concluded that the best power shift could be made from a dramatically modified Funk transmission. Working very closely with Funk, AGCO engineers developed what has become known as the AGCO Funk design. I want to emphasize here that this is an AGCO transmission built to AGCO specifications, and it is truly state-of-the-art. You will see proof of these differences later on today. Our video talked about the use of microprocessor technology, and this little chip, quite simply, is what separates our new tractor from the competition, because this chip has allowed us to provide many special features. And this amazing technology will make future performance updates to this transmission as easy as inserting this little black key into the microprocessor located right underneath the dashboard. Now let's focus on the features it provides to you today. Features like pulse shifting, speed matching, programmable shuttle shift, and AGCO's exclusive seat-mounted transmission controls. All are possible because this tractor is truly a drive-by-wire design. Perhaps you don't realize it, it's tough starting a project of this magnitude in January of 1992 and delivering the results just 14 months later. Our competition couldn't do it. It wasn't easy. It took dedication and hard work from many people. This included the willingness of AGCO employees to work through vacations, Thanksgiving, and even Christmas to make this product a reality. And the reality is, presenting these new tractors to you today is one of our greatest achievements. As I mentioned earlier, these tractors provide you with a totally new entry into a market you have been unable to compete in. And beginning today, you will have a complete family of tractors ranging from 63 to 192 PTO horsepower, all in one color and all with the white name. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have come full circle. Today, AGCO has made good on a promise that is going to make you the envy of the competition. Today, we introduce to you the all-new white 6100 series power shift tractors. Gentlemen, start your engines.
The full power shift, we can shift from any ground speed to any direction, under any load, at any engine RPM, without using the clutch pedal. Let's take a look at some of the changes in the 6100 series, some of the obvious changes, as opposed to the Workhorse 100 series. Obviously, what stands out is the styling. Sloping hood, curved nose, curved fenders. It's modern. There's something very obvious that's also been changed on the tractor, and a number of you have already identified it. We have a cab forward design. Oh, Leah Coca would love that one, wouldn't he? And we did it for some of the same reasons Chrysler Corporation did. We wanted more room in the operator's area. We wanted a better ride. And we wanted better visibility out forward. The cab is a total redesign. Got a new cab roof, new field lights, new marker lights, and the roof extends past the lights to protect the lights. Looking through the glass, you'll see a light blue tinge to it. The glass is solar glass. Solar glass filters out 17% more of the ultraviolet than regular tinted glass. Those of you that heard these tractors come out and have a real good ear for engines know that these tractors are Cummins powered. 6125 and 6140, 59 cubic 5 and 6195 use a C-series Cummins. 8.3 liter, 504.5. Just what we've had in the past, really. They're running the same power level, the same fuel level. So they're essentially identical to what we've been using. Cummins engines are fuel efficient, they're reliable, and they have very good torque characteristics. All directional changes and all speed changes are achieved through the power shift transmission. It's an 18-speed forward, 9 reverse transmission. We have 7 speeds between 1.5 and 4 miles an hour. That's your PTO operating speeds for forage harvesting. 7 choices. We have 7 speed choices from 3 to a little over 7 miles an hour. That's your tillage range. And we have 9 reverse choices. By offering a large number of reverse speeds, we're better able to match the forward speed the guy wants to use for loader work. By running the transmission 33% faster, from instead of 18 miles an hour, we use 22.5 miles an hour, we are able to transmit higher horsepower through the transmission. Okay, now let's spend just a few moments in the cab and look at some of the operational characteristics of the transmission. We have 2 other components. Our LCD display over here, which gives us the gear we're in, the direction we're traveling in, forward, neutral, reverse. And up here it says preset. This tells us the speed that we would have if we were going to shift to the opposite direction. This is in 6 forward, reverse would be 3rd reverse. We also have a code down here that tells us when we did something wrong. It's an error code. If I tried to move the tractor with the park engaged, it would give me an EO2 error code. And here's our controller, speed control. It's an inline unit. This is forward, that's reverse. Forward, reverse. The first characteristic I'd like to demonstrate is pulse shifting. I would put it in forward or reverse for that matter. I only want to go up 1 gear at a time, so I would just bounce it once. We're at 8, 9. If I want to come down, 8, 7. The next characteristic of the transmission I'd like to show you is sequential shifting. I want to go up through a number of gears. I don't want to clutch. I just want to go up through the gears. I just hold the gear shift lever in either the forward or reverse, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Or I come down, 17, 16, 15, 14, 11, 12, 11. Missed a couple. Okay, the third characteristic I want to show you is shuttle shifting. The transmission comes from the factory pre-programmed for a 6 forward speed or a 3rd reverse speed. So if I was going to shuttle shift, use this tractor for a loader operation, I'd go forward, I'd be in 6 forward, reverse would be third reverse. And that's the action I would move. I just forward to reverse, no clutch involved. Never have to touch a clutch pedal. You may have noticed I'm sitting on a new Grammer air ride seat. It swivels 20 degrees to the left and 10 degrees to the right. 20 left, 10 right. Look what's following me over here. It's kind of like a little puppy dog, isn't it? My speed control for my transmission, my speed control for my engine, my power front axle engage, and my rear diff lock. Stay with the seat and follow the operator. Easy access. This is a very unique feature. Now let's take a few minutes and continue with the drivetrain. Ooh, a little heavy there, huh? Just see what's different in the drivetrain and what is the same. We covered the Funk transmission in fairly good detail. From the Funk transmission, we go back into the final drive case. And the final drive is basically our differential, diff lock, planetaries, what you have had since 1978 when we introduced the 135, 155, and 180. Everybody with me? Have a tilt hood. It's assisted with gas air shocks. Give us accessibility to the air filter. Removable side panels for accessibility for service points. Removable front grille. No hammers, chisels, screwdrivers. And on the big tractors, swing out lights, swing out air conditioning condenser, and you can clean the coolers out and the radiator out. We were thinking a little bit. You now have a complete line from 63 horsepower to 192 with the family look, the white name, silver color. You've got a new 6100 series full power shift tractor with a new cab, a totally new transmission that is unique in the industry, and styling that's better than any other. My question is, can we sell it?
Your customers value your opinion, and at AGCO, we value your opinion as well. We spend time talking to you and getting your comments on a variety of subjects. Let's share some of those comments now.
That is one impressive tractor. We're going to have a market niche that nobody else has, and nobody can touch us for a long time to come. It's very impressive. I'm really excited about it.
That 6100 series is quite the tractor. Smooth shifting, everything that I thought it probably would be, and is. And I've driven the other tractors, and it compares to being one of the better tractors that I've driven.
The control placement is super. Everything that lends itself to safety or work conditions or whatever right at your fingertips. You can't get it any better. Everybody should probably want one of these as soon as we get home. We're going to see if we can do that.
The white 6100 power shift shifts so much smoother, and it doesn't jerk like the Ford and the Case Magnum. The forward reverse motion is really super great.
I'd rate our 6100 series way above any of our competitors. Some were better than others, of course. I felt that ours was by far the simplest to shift, the smoothest shifting, and best laid out controls.
I liked the styling of the tractor. I thought it was excellent.
We've been looking for a power shift for many years, and now we have one to sell, and I think we'll do very well with it.
La transmission Power Shift, comparativement à Ford et John Deere, qu'est-ce que j'ai essayé, est beaucoup moins bruyante. L'inverseur automatique est beaucoup plus smooth, beaucoup plus vite que le Ford. Puis en même temps, l'inverseur dans John Deere est inexistant, fait que c'est pas comparable.
I think it'll add value to our white franchise because we'll have more customers coming in to see our 6100 series tractors, and that'll automatically let them look at all the other products that are available.
We've been selling white tractors since 1947. Every year they get better. This is the best product we've ever had, but we can go and we can sell this tractor, and we will.
I think it's appropriate to say to you, we are ready to make our move. We are ready to be someone other than little old AGCO. I can recall without too much effort, it wasn't too many years ago that we all recognized that General Motors held over 50% of the automobile market share, and that IBM was so dominant that no one would even consider challenging them in the computer industry. And there were still companies around by the name of Eastern Airlines and Pan Am, as well as we all recognize the convenience and strength of a company called Sears. Even outer space was but a dream, and yet that was only a few years ago. But most importantly, as we recognize those changes, I can tell you that I can remember when Deere was number 2. And many of you can remember that as well. And I think it's worth our investigation to discover how they became number 1 and whether that is a course for us. Well, upon investigation, I learned that they really didn't do it with products. They've really never been known for outstanding products, kind of fast followers, if you would. I know they never did it with prices. They've always been a pretty decent citizen about keeping the prices up there unless they've got a particular problem. You know how they did it? They did it with dealers. Dealers who were hungry for a profit, who were aggressive, who were committed, and they set their sights on being number 1. And together, they outperformed everybody else. I happened to be standing on the sidelines, employed by International Harvester Company, and fortunately in the truck group, as I saw the farm equipment leader for centuries almost, International Harvester, fall to number 2. Success bred success, and their share grew to almost 50% of the market. Well, somewhat like Deere, now we have arrived at a crossroad, a time of decision. We have achieved modest success, and we have implemented a growth strategy with profit. But most of that growth has come from acquisition. And now we must decide whether we're willing to just be status quo, because there aren't many other companies left to buy, or do we now take a strategy of growth from the market? Somewhat at your request, AGCO has become your successor. We've picked up the pieces of the history of failure that you have so often mentioned to me. We've tried to do everything to put our best foot forward. We've delivered you new products that are competitive in performance and price. We've tried valiantly to restore your image. We've tried to treat you in a way that you've never been treated before as a dealer and a manufacturer's relationship. I like to think that above all else, we've done a few things to increase the value of your dealership, more than it was before AGCO came into your life. If you haven't discovered, let me assure you, AGCO is here to stay. We're going to be around for a long time. But now AGCO must grow by adding customers. And we can only succeed through dealers. Good dealers, strong dealers, not just numbers. We've got lots of numbers. What we need are performers. In 1993, our dealer operations group, which has been increased in staff, almost double, will accelerate the training of dealers, the training of our sales personnel, to increase the performance of our dealers. We'll try to coordinate our advertising capabilities and our service strength at every opportunity. You know, in 1992, we surveyed our dealers. We sent out a form to you and asked for your response and asked you to grade us against competition. Unfortunately, very few of you responded. The questionnaire must have gotten lost with the invoices in the same envelope. For the few of you who did find the form and took the time and cared enough to grade us, let me say to you, the results were quite poor for us. I was not pleased at all, not with you, but with the results. And I have dedicated our entire company to focus in 1993 on being your best supplier, nothing less. And there will be more surveys, and I encourage you, please respond. We're interested, sincerely interested, in your opinion. Unfortunately, we have some dealers who are content just to be parts only. And I can assure you that parts-only dealers will be a temporary element in the future, just as long as it takes for us to find a full-line dealer. A parts-only dealer degrades your contract. He degrades your marketplace. And often he dilutes your profits. We shall sign new dealers who are committed to our cause. We will fill open points with people who want to carry our products to the marketplace. I can assure you we will support every dealer who wants to grow. But we cannot afford to waste our time with those who are using our contract for other purposes. But we have all the time in the world for those dealers who want to grow with us. You know, the marketplace continues to change, and we're confronted with new issues, it seems, every day. In the last year, I heard and read a comment that Deere had decided it had too many dealers and was going to get rid of about 150. Most recently, I've read a bulletin from Fiat Ford, who has decided that if a dealer doesn't sell $250,000 worth of volume a year, he should be terminated. Well, quite frankly, I don't believe you can really legislate who's to be a dealer and who isn't. My belief is that we have to do everything possible to encourage a dealer and to help a dealer develop into the potential of the market, and that together you can both reap significant profits. As I've acknowledged to you before, we have the numbers. We need the performers. You know, at the interface meetings, and this goes back even before the time of White, I found that, as you saw today, dealers never hesitate to ask for whatever they needed or for whatever they wanted. We've done a lot of things to improve your image. We've done a lot of things to give you the products you asked for. We presented you with a power shift that almost at times looked impossible. I think we've improved our terms and our prices and our parts business. And I have to pause for a moment and ask you, are you giving us all the parts business you could give us? Or are you diluting it with our competitors and people who are not truly committed to your future? We need your parts business. Now I wish to ask you something. You've always asked of us freely, but I'd like to have your resolve. I'd like to have your commitment, your hard work to support your AGCO contract. As we pointed out to you, we have a foothold on the market. I think you know we're determined to grow and succeed. We're not here just for the fun of it. And as I think about the products that have been introduced here, and think about what you're going to do with those products when you get home, I realize that a whole new element of the business has opened its doors to you. Every farmer you know is a prospect for a product that you have. You are not limited by specifications. You're not limited by styling. You're not limited by a bankrupt supplier. You have a lot of things going for you. And I don't want you to think that these tractors were designed just for a select few. You have a new arena to participate in, head-to-head with Deere and Case. If you've not done that before, it's a new challenge. And I challenge you to open that door and find new profits for your business. We need you to seek out every potential customer, to demonstrate this tractor in every farm, on every farm, in every corner of your market, to propose sales, to propose trades and close sales, and most of all, make a profit. This is the kind of product that will give you more capability at making a profit than anything you've had in the last 2 decades. You know, I always enjoy visiting with dealers, and particularly in this group. There's such a heritage of the Oliver, the Minneapolis Moline, and so forth and so on. And most all of you, after we get introduced, relate how long you've been in the business, the history that you and your family have established in your community. I hate to jiggle that story, but you must recognize that your history is not an insurance policy for your future. We must constantly build new customers, or we're losing ground. Today, you have a new opportunity, one that you didn't have before this meeting was held. And as a matter of fact, it may never happen again for you. An opportunity to participate from the beginning in the growth of AGCO as a dominant player in the North American farm equipment industry. An opportunity to be a part of a new leadership role. an opportunity to increase your profits, and more importantly, secure your future, something we all have held on to desperately. In closing, I'd like to emphasize something that has kind of come to my attention over the past year. Oftentimes people have addressed me and said, boy, you guys are really doing it. You did this, you did that. How come? What are you doing? What's your secret? And I admit that, you know, it's a long story, and it's a lot easier to just be humble and say, we're just lucky. They're right time, right place, you know, kick the ground and not get too bold about it. At the last EMI meeting, I'd like to share with you that the new president of the EMI, that's the Equipment Manufacturers Institute, came up to me. He happens to be the president of Deere. And he said, you know, I've been coming to these meetings for 2 or 3 years, and I never met you, and I never met him. And he said, but I'd like to get acquainted. I'd like to know, what in the world are you people doing? And I said, oh, just a bunch of survivors trying to hang on. About a half an hour later, the president of Case came over. He said, I haven't met you. I said, I haven't met you either. You keep changing people so fast, I can't get acquainted. He says, what in the world? He says, all I ever read at the stock market reports of John McGinney is you guys are going straight up. Well, I said, I don't know, John, you know, sometimes he's wrong. Take it easy. Well, what's happening? I said, oh, just lucky, right time, right place, you know, hanging in there. And I got to thinking about that. And I got to thinking about timing, in the right place, in the right time. And the more I thought about it, I couldn't help but sharing with you the fact that timing only really occurs when somebody takes action. Otherwise, we don't designate timing. No one says, remember the time I didn't do anything? The only time you remember time is when you take action. I'd like to share some little-known facts with you that are kind of pointed this out to me. In 1989, KHD, most everyone knows they sold Deutz Alles to a group of management called AGCO. Most people don't know that for the whole year they tried, and I was a part of it, to sell Deutz Alles to Ford and then to Allied Products. They were willing to merge them, sell them outright, practically give it to them. But no one acted. No one did anything. And I guess it was the wrong time, wrong place. Nothing happened. Most of you probably don't know that Heston was first offered to Case. And they kind of, in their typical arrogant form of those years, said, no, I don't know, we don't want that, I don't know. Why would we want that? And they gave him some lowball figure that was an insult. Heston was then offered to Allied. And I have to share with you that in a conversation with Allied, they mentioned it to me as how ridiculous anybody would want to buy Heston. That's how I found out about it, and they both failed to take action. I took action. Just recently in our acquisition of Massey Ferguson, you should know that our initial interest was in buying AgriCredit. And we called them up and said, we understand that you might sell AgriCredit. And if you would, we don't know you folks, but boy, we'd like to buy it. Would you sell it to us? And they said, gee, I don't know. We have to think about that for a couple weeks, 3 weeks. See, around our shop, we get the answer in a couple minutes. Big businesses takes weeks. So about 3 weeks later, they called us back and said, you know, it's real nice of you to ask, but we can't sell you agri-credit because you're a competitor and you might damage our Massey Ferguson dealers. So I said, fine, we'll just buy North American distribution, then we won't be a competitor. Well, they said we better think about that for a few weeks. So a few weeks later, they called back and said, let's talk. You know, in each case of these situations, and many, many more I could relate to you, fate may have prevailed, but I am confident that action made it happen. Remember, timing is never realized until someone takes action. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you're in the right place at the right time. If you take action. It's a fortunate time. Our competitors are dealing with lots of other problems, not us. Our products are right. And as Harold said yesterday, or Eddie Swingle, or as any of our people at AGCO will tell you, we've got our act together. We know where we're going. We're ready. We're missing one thing. We need you. Now is the time, if you wish to act, to resolve to sell one more tractor, one more mid-range, one more of your new 6100 series, to buy more parts from AGCO and build the success of your most dedicated supplier. I sincerely believe this is the most unique business opportunity ever to come our way. Collectively, this is the moment. But we must take action and not wait. In closing, I can only leave you with one remark that I think sums it all up from our perspective. We invite you, recognizing that now is the time to join us and get in the boat and row like hell, or get on the sideline and watch. We're going forward. Thank you for your attendance. Have a safe trip home, and good luck and good selling.
A new breed of workhorse is hitting the field. Powerful Cummins engines, big, roomy cabs, streamlined design, and a power shift transmission that helps you get more work done faster. Power, performance, comfort, and more value. See the sun rise on the all-new workhorses at your AGCO White dealer. AGCO White, a new breed of value in a whole new light. The greatest value ever in a power shift tractor heads your way. See the sun rise on the new workhorses at your AGCO White dealer. AGCO White, a new breed of value.